Hello, hello. I am Dr. Raquel, and welcome to Mexico Monday, where I talk about all the things that I'm doing right now as I transition from life in the US to life in Mexico. So, for those of you who I'm meeting for the first time, just to share a little bit about myself, between my husband and I, we have lived in 5 different countries, not including the US, and now our family has a Mexican residency. Okay, so let's jump on in. So, today, I want to talk about one question I've been getting a lot lately because it's kind of like crunch time is people keep asking me like, so why Mexico? Like, how did you know that's where you wanted to be? How do I know if I'm ready to move to Mexico? Is Mexico the place for me? And usually what this means is how do I know I will not regret this decision? How do I know I'm choosing the right place? How do I know that now is the time that I should be thinking about this? Just how do I know everything? And you don't. So I get it. I really, really get it. Because moving to Mexico is not a vacation. It is a life decision. It is a different culture, a different pace, a different place, a different language, a different way of living. So it feels like it should be something that you're completely sure about. Like, okay, one day you will just be like, okay, I know this is it and I'm ready. But to be honest, this is not how moving abroad works. Even as someone who's lived abroad before, even as someone who already has residency. So today I just want to talk about what being ready is, what it actually looks like to be ready to move to Mexico. Because I feel like many people are waiting for a version of readiness that really does not exist. Because ready, it doesn't mean that you are absolutely certain. And I think that this is one of the biggest misconceptions. People think ready means, okay, you don't have any fears, you don't have any questions, you don't have any uncertainty. You are just 100, all the boxes are checked off and you're 100% buttoned up. And that is not real. Especially when you're moving to Mexico, because there are so many variables. When you are moving abroad with other people, one person may love it, the other person may not. So there's no way to truly know, is this city perfectly right for you and your family if you haven't lived or spent extensive time in that city? Your daily life, you don't know what that's going to be like. How you'll adjust culturally, you don't know what that's going to be like. How your routine is going to change, what parts of your routine that change that will impact you most. So you can visit, you can research, you can watch videos, but actually living there is going to be completely different. So if you're waiting to feel completely sure about moving to Mexico before you move, you may be waiting forever, because ready does not mean certain. Ready does not mean that you have all the answers. It just means that you are willing to figure it out, willing to adjust, willing to learn to a new way of life, a new way of living, a new language, because your clarity comes from actually being there, not just thinking about being there. And until you move, you're just thinking about it. But there are some signs that you may be more ready than you think. So I want you to listen for like one, if you keep coming back to Mexico. So not just like, I want to move abroad, but like, I want to move to Mexico specifically. You're watching videos about Merida, Mexico City, Playa del Carmen. You're looking at specific neighborhoods, even like those videos where you like walk through the neighborhood to see like, what does that neighborhood look like? What would I look like walking through that neighborhood? You're thinking about lifestyle. And all those things matter because they're not random curiosity. It's like actually aligned specifically to Mexico. And you just keep coming back there for some reason. And then two is like you're ready to start making decisions for Mexico. So like, okay, which Mexican school do I want to put my kid in? How will I earn income in Mexico? What timeline makes sense for us? What would we need in order to feel comfortable in Mexico? But also remember, Mexico has places like Home Depot, Costco, Walmart, which, you know, when you need, I, of course, encourage you to support local businesses and communities. But if you need a little fix, get homesick for something, you do have some of those more conveniences from home as well. And so it's when you really start like realizing that you're not just dreaming, but you are making specific intentional plans and they align with Mexico. And then I think the third thing is also like when you start to question your current lifestyle. So, like, not being dramatic, but just like noticing, okay, this pace of life is just not working for me. I think that's one of the main things when we first moved back to the US, where we like, there were certain things that my husband and I, we promised ourselves, like, we are not going to like get a whole bunch of stuff. We are going to like try to keep our house as minimalist as possible. We are not going to be in the rat race of the things. And none of that happened. We got completely caught up in having too much stuff and completely being off pace and running around all the time and doing all the things. And immediately, within 2 years of being back in the US, we were like, nah, this pace is very, very off. This stress feels constant. This lifestyle does not align with what we want our lives to be, how we want our family to be. So when you think about Mexico, don't just think about location. We are thinking about like slower mornings. We are thinking about more connection. We are thinking about like a different rhythm with our kids, quality time together. And for us, all of that is so important and so matters. So when you think about readiness, you need to realize that like another part of that being ready is because you're seeing that like where you currently are is not where you want to be. And how do you figure out like where that alignment is? And so asking those questions is very, very important. And then the third part is just you will not know everything before you go, period. And this is often the part that people do not like. And I apologize because it is very, very uncomfortable. But you will not have every answer to every question before you move to Mexico, period. You will not know exactly how you will feel living there. You will not know what you're going to be doing every day. You will not know how you're going to be able to adjust to Spanish. And even as a person who speaks Spanish, I don't know. There are certain times where I'm like, certain accents may be thicker or certain people may have a depth of their voice. And I'm like, no idea what you just said. But even with that, like, I'm willing to figure it out. And not knowing all those things is not a problem when you're willing to figure it out. Because that's the nature of a move abroad. You don't have all the answers figured out. And so what I would just recommend right now is just that you get enough clarity to take the next step. So if you feel like you were unclear, but you keep coming back to Mexico, but there are still like specific questions that you don't have answers to, that you think you really want the answer to before you move, then I would encourage you to maybe visit before you go, but visit with intention. Don't just go and wing it. Think about like, okay, what are some schools that I can visit while I'm there? Book a longer stay, like maybe stay for 2-3 weeks if you can. Start your residency process. Start getting your documents together. Figure out which documents you need, and you can get those now. Book your visa appointment. Narrow down the specific city that you want to be in. You don't need the full picture. You just need one step at a time. Just keep taking steps. Keep moving forward. And that, as you continue to take steps, that will also give you more clarity. Even though you will not know it all, but you can at least have more clarity as you're planning the move, okay? So if you have been asking yourself, am I ready to move to Mexico? Maybe a better question to ask is, am I ready to be open? Am I ready to have new experiences? Am I ready to learn as I go? Am I willing to build something different? Because being ready, it is not a feeling. You do not feel ready. It is a decision that you have made, that you are going to try it and see what happens. And most of the time, you are not ready first. You try it first, see what happens first, and then you become ready by actually moving. So, of course, I am here to help you in any way that I can. If you feel like I don't really know what next steps are and I need some support, I'm of course here to support you with that. So you can always head to my website, www.bestlifeabroad.com, and set up a time for us to connect. So hopefully this helped you. If you know someone else who is planning or thinking about Mexico, please share it with them, and I will see you all next week. Bye.